Yo, what the heck is up, guys? It's your boy G Whiz,
And it's your boy T Dot Boogie.
and today we're bringing you that week two picks for the 2023 season. Of course, we're going to talk about the Thursday night football game we had between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. But I wanted to put up on the screen so y'all could see our week by week record. Okay, after week one, your boy is 10-7. Boogie is 9-8 straight up. Okay, but against the spread, Boogie comes in hot, 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 hot. I'm stepping on coals
Ah,
out here. 11-6, where I was 9-8. Of course, Boogie also gets the prop bet because Joe Burrow fell short of everybody's expectations in week one. But
hmm
that doesn't mean that we can't kill it going forward. Let's go ahead and scroll down here to our week two matchups here.
And in
Uh,
Tyler's betting corner, he's up about 4 units right now. So we're
Four
feeling good.
units. That's a lot of units.
That's a lot
I
of
like
units.
that.
We're feeling nice. We're hoping we keep the momentum going into this week.
Absolutely, man. All right. So, of course, we had our Thursday night football game, the first true game on Amazon Prime, which everybody seems to love, except for those people that aren't subscribed. And we have
hmm
Minnesota at Philadelphia. Philadelphia was favored -6. Remember, for those of you betting at home, they had to win by more than 6 points, and they did not because of the garbage time touchdowns by Kirkland Cousins. And God, this game was embarrassing for the Minnesota Vikings. But of course, Philadelphia won straight up, and Minnesota did cover the spread. Um,
Right.
Boogie, it was 34-28. What are your thoughts, feelings, concerns about what you saw from this game?
Um, if things swing Minnesota's way more than one time in this game, Minnesota might be walking away with a win here. They had a halftime fumble that really cost them chance to go up on the Philadelphia Eagles. But despite all that, Justin Jefferson is not to be denied. He's projected to have, I think, 136 catches and 2,600 yards
God
this
damn.
season.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that it helps when you get 300 yards in your first two games. That's quarterback numbers. That's not receiver numbers.
Yeah,
Guy
heard
is
that.
insane. Kevin O'Connell's a great play caller. He got Jordan Addison open on a cover eight beater. He confused the safety whose job it was to come down on Hawkinson, who was coming on a deep over. But the cornerback was shaded outside, expecting safety help on Addison. So Addison was just able to
Dude, he
run a deep
fucking
post
burned
and
it. Yeah, 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 yeah.
burned it. But it shows that right now, because Philadelphia is running with backup defensive backs, that they're vulnerable in the secondary, and that's something that teams can exploit moving forward, as Minnesota was almost able to in this game. But despite all that, the offensive coordinator for Philadelphia, Brian Johnson, did the smartest thing he could on a short week, which was run the shit out of a football with a guy who had only had two touches the previous week. So really paid off. DeAndre Swift looking like a absolute champion with 28 carries for 175 yards. Good game, good squeaker win for Philadelphia, and this will keep them going. But they need to tighten some shit up if they want to make it far in this league this year.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Man, well, okay. So you nailed the Philadelphia side of the ball really, really well. I think Minnesota should have won this game. Hand over foot. Justin Jefferson fumbles the ball into the back of the end zone. A lot of fumbles. Just a lot of giving the ball away. I think there were 3 or 4 turnovers in the first. I don't know, like 90 minutes of this game. It was
Mhm.
like Madison put the ball on the ground. Justin Jefferson, like reaching for the pylon, which he had no business doing, put the ball on like literally fumbled it into the back of the end zone. He didn't have to do that. He could have just went
Nah.
down at the 1 yard line. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You're a superstar. Go and make that play.
Mhm.
Um, but that offensive line looked suspect, man. Jalen Carter got in there and disrupted everything. Fletcher Cox looked like a madman out of the backfield. There's just a lot
Mhm.
of shit that I'm just wondering, like, can Minnesota bounce back? And I don't know if they can. Um, unless they figure out their offensive line, which just seems to be getting worse and worse as time moves forward.
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult for them to compete in a very competitive NFC North, let alone across the rest of the league. I mean, when they're going up against premier pass rush, they're going to find themselves in a world of problems. Now, I don't necessarily know their schedule moving forward. I know they played this Thursday. I guess we'll get into, all of this in our week 4 analysis of where we think teams are going um, and how we see them finishing the year. But as of now, I mean, Minnesota just looks chalked, man. Yeah, people making death threats to running backs. Like, what are we doing?
Mm,
What are we doing
ugly
out
book.
here? What are we doing out here? Who
Ugly
who
bucky look.
cares? Who cares? I mean, I get it.
Unserious behavior by the fans.
Well, that's very unserious behavior. And here's the deal, dude. It's a fucking game. Like, yes, are we upset for the rest of that afternoon? Maybe. But should it shadow and cloud your judgment as like your identity in life? No, I don't believe so. Like, not
No.
unless you're a stakeholder in the team, but if you're at that level of one, financial security, and two, purview, you're not going to be making these kinds of these kinds of comments towards human beings. So let's just keep that in
No.
mind. They're fucking human beings. All right. Speaking of some human beings that are going to see some mediocre things, we're talking about the Atlanta Falcons, who are hosting the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love coming off of a game where he looked absolutely incredible against a paltry Bears defense, going into Atlanta with Desmond Ritter, Bijan Robinson, who looks like he's about to just blow up here in week 3 or 4. Um, Man, we got a lot of exciting things going on here. Keep in mind, Boogie, that Christian Watson will not be playing
Mm-hmm.
this week in Green Bay. So does that limit
Ooh.
Jordan Love's options? I don't know. What are your thoughts, feelings, concerns going into this matchup?
So, weather is no object here because they're playing in a dome this week. I've got
Yeah.
the injury reports here. Bakhtiari and Watson and Aaron Jones are all questionable to play.
Oh,
Sounds
Aaron
like,
Jones. I forgot about that. Yeah.
yeah, both Bakhtiari and Aaron Jones did not participate in practice on Friday. And on the Atlanta side, Cordero Patterson was a full participant on Friday, and Jeff Okuda is questionable. Um, so it looks like ATL is the healthier team coming into this.
I think so.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know what you think, but I think I'm going to ride with the Falcons. I think they have a lot of momentum, especially beating a divisional opponent, which is always going to be a tougher game. So I'll take Atlanta just at home. I mean, 1.5, like what is that? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Will they win by one? Will this be like a 17-16 game? I could definitely see something like that happening. But Green Bay's run defense has been non-existent, like ever.
Hmm.
It seems like they always go, um, "Oh, we got a new look defense, and oh, we're going to change up the defensive scheme this time," and they never.
We're gonna run 6 DBs, and
Yeah,
they're
and
trying shit all the time.
dude, they're trying shit, but like their run defense has been bottom of the league the past 5 years, and it's the same dude. So shit, man. I'm gonna take Atlanta at home. Of course, with the hometown crowd, but don't
Mhm.
expect it to be an easy one. I think Jordan Love is going to come out here and continue to be, um, to perform above average and really get more and more comfortable in this offense. And I don't know, this could be a close one. Maybe Atlanta wins on a field goal or something, or a Jesse Bates pick six. I could definitely see
Mhm.
that happening too.
Absolutely.
Man, yeah. I'm gonna go with Atlanta on this one. What about you, Boogie?
It's a tough question because I think Desmond Ritter is still a QB who has very limited tools through the air. He just doesn't
I agree.
he's not even on the level of like an Anthony Richardson where he's showing a little something. He just kind of doesn't have it. So far he's showing nothing in his second season. So the air game is negligible, but if Atlanta can grind out a 10-point advantage at any point in this game,
Hmm.
um, they have so many guys who can get it done on the ground, and they have a play caller who wants to get to the ground game as much as possible.
Yeah, Arthur
Um,
Smith just loves pounding the ball.
they
Hit
don't
it with
even need to
Derrick
get to
Henry. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. they don't even need to get to 14 points up. They can just get to 10 points up and grind through Green Bay and get to the end of this game with with an ugly, let's say like 21-10 performance or something like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Uh,
I agree with that.
but the big question here is whether Love can recreate his killer week last week with Watson still possibly out, with his left tackle in question, um, his guard Elton Jenkins and Romeo Dobbs, the wide receiver, were also limited this week in practice. So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to know if he's going to have even the same tools he had last week to recreate his performance. Um, I think that man, it's tough because I want to take Green Bay because it's the road dog at home when the spread's -2 or 3. But I really do think that Atlanta has the advantage here. And even if they can get one possession ahead of Green Bay with Green Bay's non-existent run defense and
Yeah.
ATL's uh, proclivity
Prolific.
towards that, I think
Yeah, absolutely.
it's gonna be a wrap.
Yeah, 100%, man. I'll tell you what game's going to be a wrap, especially regarding the spread. It's fucking Las Vegas at Buffalo. Buffalo's
Yes, sir.
favored by -8. I don't, that's retarded after what I saw with them against the Jets, who have a very good defense. Las Vegas
Hmm.
does not have that same style of defense, but Josh Allen did not look comfortable. I don't really foresee them. Like, 8 points is a lot, just
Hmm.
period. Like that is a lot of fucking points, man. Like, can they do it? Do they have the talent to? Yeah. But if
Hmm.
Josh Allen's just going to keep throwing interceptions, trying to force the ball to Stephon Diggs the entire game, I, shit, I don't know, man. I'll definitely take Buffalo to win this one.
Hmm.
You want to throw me an injury report real quick, bub?
I got you. Let me get you weather and an injury report. The weather is 71 degrees, partly cloudy. There's not a high chance for rain in the forecast.
Mm-hmm.
On the injury report, the only person who made it to the injury report was the center Mitch Morse, which says to me that maybe Buffalo plays injury report games, but I'm not sure. But he was a full participant on Friday. For Las Vegas, Chandler Jones and Jacoby Myers are out. All other players were full participants on Friday.
Mm.
Hmm. I as for
Damn.
me,
I think
like,
Buffalo's gonna win. They have to win. They got to bounce back. They're a
yeah,
very good team.
they're gonna-
But
I mean, this is
shit.
to me, this is like a get right game for Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs to get back on the same page and
Mhm.
stuff the stat sheet because the Las Vegas defense has the least amount of takeaways in the league since 2021, which is 28 takeaways.
Oh wow, really?
Um, So Josh Allen, yeah, really. And Josh Allen will not be under the stress of having multiple takeaways in the game like he did last week. And he's not gonna have to play hero ball. The defense for Las Vegas is porous. The offense has too many bruises for me to be confident that they can produce because both the quarterback and Devontae Adams were on the injury report this week.
Oh wow,
So
really? All right, give me the fucking Bills to cover. Shit.
yeah. Hmm.
This is probably not a good idea in the first couple weeks, but fuck it. I'll take the Bills to cover.
I'm gonna have to take the Bills as well to cover. I just think, their their offense can be great and their defense is good enough that I don't think Las Vegas's depleted roster can really take advantage of them.
Yeah.
And Las Vegas can thank John Gruden for putting them in this position 2-3 years after his tenure, that they still just aren't right enough to be able to make any splash in this league.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see, man. Vegas is going to need a couple years. They need like an elite quarterback. Jimmy G is very very good, but he is not elite in
Mm.
in my opinion. Um,
He's
yeah,
turning 32.
we'll
He's
see.
got gray hairs. His ceiling has been like first round quarterback. Well, he
Yeah.
made it to the Super Bowl, but really, who made it to the Super Bowl? Him or Coach Shanahan?
Well, Coach Shanahan for sure, but that's neither here
Mhm.
nor there. Tell you a team that needs to make it back to the Super Bowl here is the Cincinnati Bengals, who really need to right the ship. Okay,
Please.
right the fucking ship against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday in their home opener Of course, Cincinnati coming off one of the worst games that they have ever played in recent memory. Pardon me. God, just thinking about that upset, puts me to sleep a little
Ugly.
bit. I just want to forget about it. Baltimore coming off a kind of like an awkward showing with their new offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
So we will see what's going on here. Boogie, you want to throw me a injury report and some weather before we get into our picks for this one? I think we already know where we're going here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we do. We're looking at 73 degrees and partly cloudy for game time on Sunday.
Nice.
The Channel 5 news reporter locally has been saying that there's a possibility for rain during the game, but
Stop. Not
I
again.
just don't believe it. It's not, I'll look out my window and say that there's not a lot of possibility for rain. All the injuries that we talked about for the Ravens on Wednesday are still in play. The left side of the line is compromised. Those the tackle and center are out. And Marlon Humphrey, the cornerback, and the safety, who I forget the name of, is also out for this game.
I think it's
Mark
like
Andrews is in.
Williams or something.
Yeah, but for as Ben Baby from ESPN reported, all 53 were on the field for the Bengals all throughout practice this week, except for Chris Evans. He was a limited participant, and I think Osai was a limited participant as well.
Okay. Yeah. So, couple things here that I just want to put out there. One thing we need to be careful of is, of course, the Ravens defense has always had Joe Burrow's number, with the exception of that 525 passing performance that he got after feeling disrespected by the defensive coordinator of the Ravens. I don't expect to see that this week. Would that be sick? Fuck yeah. But I think that we're really going to see, weather permitting, a lot of just airing it out. I think Jamar Chase gets right. I think T. Higgins gets right. I think Tyler Boyd gets right. I wouldn't be surprised if all three had like 80 to 100 yards here each. Especially Joe Mixon is looking really, really good. Okay. I know we don't want to talk about that game from last week, but after reviewing the tape a little bit, he was running through people, breaking tackles like old Joe. Like he was running hard and angry, which I really, really like. Jump cutting, just doing a lot of shit we haven't seen for a couple of years. So I don't know. Maybe he was playing through injuries last year and we just never knew about it or talked about it or what have you. But I really expect Cincinnati to get right this game. Jonah Williams, of course, is still going to be my biggest point of concern on that O line, especially when you got Patrick Queen coming down over the middle. It's just going to be tough, man. The Ravens, of course, you can reference that playoff game that we almost lost, right? With, by the grace of, the Hubbard yard dash or, the fumble in the jungle, like whatever you want to call it, dude. That shit was insane, but we can't expect that to happen consistently, right? No. Of course, with this weakened secondary, we're going to look at, Joe Burrow to just sling that shit all over the field. The cornerbacks they're not going to be able to match up one-on-one like the Browns did. That's unique. Okay. And they're not going to be able to cover over the middle like the safeties for the Browns did. They're not going to have the rushing attack that the Browns have, right? With Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett. So I think all things considered, it's going to be a lot more relaxed back there for Joe. Relaxed in the sense that he might have an extra second or two, because let's not take anything away from this Ravens defense. They're very vicious. They get to the passer very efficiently. But we should have more time to operate back there. Joe should have more time to think things through and get a little more comfortable. Same idea we saw last year in Dallas, where it looked more like Joe Burrow as the game went on. I think we're going to see more of that. Is he going to be at 100%? I don't think so. Not until maybe that Monday night game against the Rams, where he gets some mad vengeance. But yeah, it's just, I think Cincinnati is too much. You look at the defensive side of the ball, dude, in Cincinnati, like, holy shit, Tyler. We didn't even talk about this. Our boys are looking great. Cam Sample looked great. BJ Hill is really holding up on the interior. We got a lot of young guys. Dax Hill got a pick. He's playing excellent. We're moving fucking Mike Hilton into the safety and rotating Dax Hill into like a Trey Flowers role to cover tight ends because he's so fast. We should see a
Mm-hmm.
lot of DJ Turner guarding Zay Flowers, just putting speed on speed like we did with Elijah Moore. We put
Smart.
DJ Turner on Elijah Moore a lot. Man, I don't know, dude. I'm really excited for this game. Our defense is nasty, so nasty. Like if we can actually put points on the board, and not put our defense in the position to, guard the run the entire game, I think we've got a really, really um, good chance coming out here with a dub. I've got Cincinnati. It might
Yeah, I
be
thought you
by,
did.
dude. It might be by 3. It might be by 6. Um, I don't really see this being a blowout. Would I like to see one? Fuck yeah, I would. But also
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson, man, and Zay Flowers. That's going to be tough, man.
Yeah,
Zay, of course, is his favorite receiver, through week 1, right? So it's not really saying
sure.
much. And Odell Beckham is excellent. May really challenge this young secondary into grabbing him, holding him. We may see a lot of pass interference calls. So just something
Mm-hmm.
to be aware of, Bengals fans. It's got to, just even keel. We got Joe Burrow, man. We've got the
That's right.
franchise. Our team is incredible. Just let them warm up like every year, which is frustrating to
Mm-hmm.
watch. But let them warm up, and then we just start to roll, man. We roll into the back half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a team that.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Before you move,
You want to say some
let me
things?
just let me
My
just hop in here
my
real quick.
apologies. Go ahead, Boogie.
No
I kind of
worries. No worries.
downgraded that combo.
No, you were rolling, and I appreciate it. I mean, I'm just going to be in agreement with a lot of things you said. Actually, um, Baltimore's not going to be able to use the run game as much as they like to because J.K. Dobbins is out for the
Mhm.
year with a torn Achilles. Um, so Lamar is going to have to really lean on his passing game because who knows what he's got in that running back room. But at the same time, the left side of the offensive line is compromised right now.
100%.
So that's going to allow a lot of penetration from Trey
Hendrickson,
Hendrickson.
yeah,
Um,
100%.
so I'm predicting that Cincinnati pass rush is going to feast in this game, and that's going to have positive effects down the line for our young secondary to be able to just if they just stay within themselves and do their job, we should be able to keep the Ravens to a pedestrian performance on offense,
Mhm.
and then as for us on offense, I mean, if we just lean on a balanced attack, like you were saying, with Joe looking rejuvenated and ready to earn himself a big paycheck next year, you know, rest in peace to the running back market, but hopefully he can get some good money next year after he wins Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, there you go.
Um,
There you go.
yeah, and with you know the Ravens secondary also compromised, they're going to have to lean on some backup players.
Yeah.
Our receivers should be able to feast. Maybe Joe can make T. Higgins forget about his performance last week and maybe want to stick around for another few years and renegotiate a contract after the season. But um, it's the home opener. The jungle's going to be rumbling. I'm going
Oh,
to be
fuck
there.
yeah.
I'm going to be in full fucking voice, full throat. We're going to be screaming AJ Green's the king of the jungle this week, so everybody's going to be hyped up. I think he's going to bring some good juju
I
because
think
AJ
so.
Green is the
He's a
fucking Raven
he
killer.
is a Raven killer,
Raven
man.
killer.
He always did good
So
against
excited for this
Ravens.
game.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Yeah, dude. There's a lot of excitement to be had.
Mm-hmm.
So, who dey? All right.
Who dey? Who
Let's
dey,
move
baby?
on here. We got Seattle at Detroit. Detroit rolling, and of course on long rest after playing
Mm-hmm.
and winning against Kansas City Chiefs on that inaugural Thursday night football game.
That's right.
Seattle, who really looked like a shell of themselves last year, not really knowing what the fuck was going on. Um, I think that this is a game that could go to the wire. I think Detroit by 4.5 is kind of silly. Remember last year, this game was 48-45 when they played at Detroit. Or did they play in
Uh,
Seattle? I forget. But it was just like a fucking shootout. And
mm-hmm.
I
Out of
was,
nowhere.
yeah, it was like, wow, 93 points. That's an insane amount of points. So
Mm-hmm.
give me Detroit to win. They got a lot of momentum. Of course, they're going to be positive and high. Seattle needs a bounce back game, so give me Seattle to cover. I think Gino's got to figure it out, man.
Hmm.
Especially in this NFC West that is surprisingly competitive through 1 week, right? Like, what are we
Yeah.
even talking about? I get it, guys, but like, I don't know, man. The 49ers are looking tough. The Rams looked good for whatever reason. And the Cardinals look like they just won't go away for whatever reason, even though they should really be going for that number one pick. Um,
Hmm.
so definitely give me Detroit to win. I feel like they got too much going on. Amon-Ra St. Brown might go ahead and bring it, especially it's their home opener, man. And they just won on the road against the defending Super Bowl champs. I feel like there's going to be a lot of good energy going in Detroit's directions. Expect to see a lot more from Jameer Gibbs, who
Hmm.
had an excellent showing. So they should scheme him, of course, into the game a little bit more and expect Amon-Ra St. Brown to just destroy. On the other side of the ball, expect DJ Metcalf not to just have one touchdown, but to maybe like turn up. And Kenneth Walker III, how long can defenses really keep this guy from just frying? That's really a
Yeah.
question we got to ask ourselves. Boogie, what are your thoughts, feelings, concerns here? Do you have any injury designations that may change how I feel about what's going
They
on?
may. I'm gonna tell you why I'm taking Detroit both ways, and it is because of the injury report. So starting off, we're gonna be in a dome because we're in Detroit. Um, Seattle has the offensive tackle Charlie Cross and safety Jamal Adams are going to be out for this game. Their other starting offensive tackle went on IR this week due to an injury sustained in the first Thursday night game.
Mm.
Detroit has defensive backs Mosley and Dorsey and defensive end Pascal out. Taylor Decker is doubtful, and Ragnow has an unspecified designation right now. Um, Seattle's offensive line and offensive tackle in particular problems are so bad right now that Seattle signed 41-year-old Jason Peters off the street as a stopgap measure at offensive tackle. So their offensive line is
What did they really?
they really did.
Oh
And
wow.
they just like they plucked like just garbage tackles off the street just to try to fill out the roster for this week. Um, Due to that,
Mm.
Jason Peters is an absolute monster. He had a great career. He's 41 years old and
He's
he's been
he's
out of work for a
liable.
few months.
Yeah, he's liable to get hurt out here.
He is, and I mean, he was getting banged up, for preceding like 3 years before he retired from the NFL. So I'm not sure they have enough horses to stop a really hungry Hutchinson-led pass rush in this game, and that's going to put Gino into some trouble, like he had against the Rams last week. And on
Mm.
the other side of the
Oh
ball,
my god.
Jared, yeah, that's so good. Such a most relatable man in the NFL right now. Jared Goff is 44 attempts away from the interceptionless record, and the Seattle defense looked vulnerable against a throwing quarterback last week. So I think there's enough in place here that Detroit could have a pretty comfortable time and cruise to a touchdown victory over this Seattle Seahawks, who just they just don't have enough to stop their defense, and they don't have enough to stop the offense either. And um, one more thing is that I forget the coach's name, but he said he's going to work Jameer into the rotation a little bit more as he gets more comfortable in the offense.
Okay.
And according to Warren Sharp of Sharp Football Analysis, they're expecting Jameer to get over 3.5 receptions in this game, which is the current line. Um, if Jameer is that involved in the passing game as well as the running game, um, it's just going to unleash his talents on a depleted Seahawks. So I think Detroit can match this -4.5,
Heard. Well,
especially at home opener and all that in
shit.
games.
All right, give me Detroit to cover. You've
All right,
you've convinced me. Seattle definitely needs a bounce back game, but will it be against Detroit? I don't
yeah,
know. No, I don't know.
it's not looking good for this week.
Yeah, you know what else isn't looking good this week? The Tennessee Titans, who are about to host the Los Angeles Chargers.
Snooze fest.
Yeah, dude. The Chargers, for some reason, are only favored by -2.5. Ryan Tannehill looks like he doesn't even know how to throw a football anymore. Give me the Chargers across the board. Ryan Tannehill's like 3 weeks away from being replaced by Will Levis or by Malik Willis. Um,
who didn't look that great that last year anyway, but
No, but
looks
I
better
mean
than
it's
Tannehill.
better than what Tannehill did last week. Like my God,
Mhm.
bro. Like what the fuck are we doing here? Yeah, man. I just think the Chargers are too much. Herbert looked really good against the Dolphins, but I mean it's the fucking buzzsaw of the Dolphins team that just came out and just fucking rolled, man. Like
Mhm.
can't guard Tyreek Hill. That's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that later. But the Chargers looked really, really good, man. I know Mike Williams went down. Can you give me the injury designation real quick, Boogie?
I got you. Here, let me get some weather in here too, because I gotta. It's a 77 degrees, partly cloudy. The Chargers, Bosa is questionable. Eckler is doubtful. For
Really,
Tennessee,
Eckler? Why?
yeah. Uh, don't know. I think it was something. It was a lower body injury, but I can't remember exactly what he had going on
Oh,
last week.
interesting. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Tennessee, Hopkins is questionable, and there's two secondary players who are out. Um,
Yeah, okay. Then give me LAC. I mean,
yeah.
if Mike Williams is playing, Quentin Johnson's probably going to get more time, and of course Keenan Allen. I think they're just too much for this Tennessee
Um,
Titans team that couldn't even get
yeah.
it done against a mediocre Saints team.
hmm
Yeah,
I think with yeah, Tennessee offense, the Chargers defense, it's bad on bad. With the Chargers offense on the Tennessee defense, it's good on good, but only in the run dimension. The run defense for Tennessee is good, but
hundred
with
percent,
two secondary players out, I'll bet that the Chargers passing attack is going to pace this game
hundred
and
percent.
turn it in their favor. So I'm more than willing to also take the Chargers across the board.
Yeah, 100%, man. A team that I may fuck around and take across the board. It's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are hosting the Chicago Bears. The Bears looking like they're still trying to figure out what the fuck is going on offense. Heading into Tampa Bay, where Baker Mayfield is riding a high from his Week 1 victory over the Minnesota Vikings. Go ahead and give me Tampa Bay across the board here, Boogie. Um, there's really not even a lot to talk about here. It's basically, Godwin, Mike Evans, who had a hell of a game last week.
hmm
The running back White against a Chicago Bears team that still, I, I don't even know if they know what they're doing yet. So
hmm
that's kind of where I'm at. What do you got some injury designations? Like, what are your thoughts, feelings, concerns here, man? Like, I don't even think
We're
it
at
matters.
89 degrees. It's going to be rainy. There's a 70% chance of rain.
Hmm.
So that may bring the running game more into it. Chicago has a clean bill of health. Tampa Bay, three defensive players are out. I've never heard of them, so it doesn't matter who they are.
Yeah,
Um, the rule as far as you know, betting on the road dog when the home team is favored by less than three, that's in play, but the line is nice. It's a minus 2.5, and for our rules, since we don't get a push, if it's minus three, I mean, this looks like a nice line to pick Tampa Bay. If it was Tampa Bay minus three under our rules, I might want to pick Chicago
Chicago.
because
Yeah.
I could see this could kind of be in a grind
Hmm.
fest, especially if the rain starts to get involved.
Yeah,
But
like a 2017 or 17-14 kind of game.
yeah, until Chicago fixes their issues or like looks like they're making progress in one way or another with the passing game, I'd rather take the known entity, which is Baker Mayfield and these Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at too.
100%, man. Talking about a known entity, of course, we've got the Kansas City Chiefs, who are visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars.
hmm
Um, Man, of course, Kansas City coming off that loss on Thursday night last week, looking to bounce back, getting back Travis Kelsey per Andy Reid, and Chris Jones come into play. Um, I think that adds a new dimension and a lot of vitality to this Chiefs defense. Um, Shit, man. I don't know. It was 27-20 last year when they played in the divisional round. Is Kansas City the better team? I mean, we're talking about Kadarius Toney, who absolutely went off in that game, had himself a game. Are we going to see a lot of drops by Sky Moore and what's his face, KT, this time? I mean, probably not, right? I mean, they're professionals. Like, yeah, exactly. I'm shoulder shrugging eternally as well because probably not, but
hmm
you never know. Um, but you got Josh Allen, you got Kevion Walker. Um, who are really going to be looking to turn up, especially against this weak left
Hmm.
tackle. In the Kansas City Chiefs, damn it, Jacksonville's at home. They played out of their minds last week and really got their identity back against an Indianapolis team that shouldn't even really have been in the game, in my opinion. I
Hmm.
don't know if they were just shocked by what they were seeing out there, which I get. You know, new coach, new team, who dis, like how are you supposed to guard against that, right? Or game plan
Right.
for something you don't know. Um, shit, man. Fuck. This is tough because I really like Jacksonville right now, dude. I mean, I think that Calvin
Mhm.
Ridley is going to keep doing his thing. I think Zay
He
Jones is
is.
going to keep doing his thing.
He is.
Um, Travis Etienne is looking nasty in the ground game. Of course, it's Trevor Lawrence. But on the other side,
Christian Kirk.
it's fucking
I mean,
Patrick Mahomes, man. Like, what do you?
according to Brian Leftwich, if you got a big head, you're going to be a great receiver. And he got paid $72 million. He's the best paid wide receiver in the business right now.
Who?
I mean, that's got to count for Jacksonville. I've already forgotten his name.
Kirk? Christian Kirk?
Yeah, Christian Kirk. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I mean, shit.
Let me tell you this. We got weather reports 89 degrees. There's a 49% chance of rain. In that case, I would take ETN all day if it starts getting rainy. KC, the injury report, Kelsey and Clyde Edwards-Helaire are questionable.
I mean, they're
Chris
playing.
Jones,
They have to play.
yeah, Chris Jones, Kelsey, L'Jarius Sneed were limited participation, and Edwards-Helaire and Bolton did not participate in Friday's practice. As far as Jacksonville goes, they got two DBs who are out, and Brandon Sheriff is questionable. Um, Let me give you like my very basic, probably wrong math. The over under line on this game is 51.5. So that means that Las Vegas is expecting probably like a something like a 27-24 and like kind of final result. Um, there are some lines out there that are showing KC -3.5. To me, that makes me like between -3 and -3.5. Like, definitely, if you're getting the -3.5 line, I think you should be betting the Jacksonville Jaguars because I think they're going to keep this close. And I think that's a, I think that's actually even if you're getting the -3 in anywhere other than our game, you could get the push off of that. So I think you should bet the Jacksonville Jaguars in this. It's hard to see KC laying an egg with their two franchise cornerstones back, and they have long rest, which Andy Reid loves to scheme up an offense. But Jacksonville also put up a really good fight last time they met, and they are better than they were then because of the addition of Calvin Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if it were me picking for you, Garth, and it is going to be me picking for me, I would be picking Jacksonville. Even if you don't pick them to win, I think you should pick them against the spread. I'm pick
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
I'm picking them both ways. Actually, I think they have a fighter's chance um, in this, and getting KC to start 0-2. That warms my little Bengals fan heart.
Yeah. 100%. And I would be remiss if I took Kansas City to win. If I didn't pick Jacksonville and they came out here and, smoked them for some reason.
Hmm.
Shit. This is fucked, bro. This is
I
like,
could be just as wrong as I am right.
yeah, this is genuinely a hard. I think for parity, give me Kansas City.
I love this. This is juicy. I can't believe I'm taking your team.
I can't believe
I
I'm
can't
picking.
believe I stole your team before you got to
Can't
take
believe
them.
I'm picking against my team. This is stupid. This is gonna bite me in the ass 100%.
But you're picking the Kansas City Chiefs. It's a smart play. They're favored, and it's the smart fucking play. It's Andy Reid after a long rest. Like that's hard.
It is,
I say,
man, but it's god damn. I don't know. The Jaguars just look like they're so multiplicitous on
yeah,
offense. Like I'm just
absolutely.
fuck, dude. And these Chiefs, they look boring. I mean, I
Hmm.
hate to say that. Of course, Mahomes can roll out of the pocket. If this was any other team, Jacksonville would roll him. But just because Mahomes can roll out of the pocket, throw across his body 40 yards down the field, and hit somebody in his fingertips,
Yeah, throw into a fucking teacup.
yeah,
I'll, I
it's fucking annoying, man. I don't know.
yeah. Let me talk to the homies real quick because I think sometimes we're starting out this podcast. We're still relatively new to the game. We forget to keep the third empty chair open. So let me talk to the homies real quick. Homies, the over under on this game is 51 and a half. Bet the under. 51 is a key number, and once you cross that key number, you want to start betting differently. If it was maybe 49 and a half, you might want to do an over because this looks to be a relatively high scoring game. But since it's 51 and a half, 51 is one of those key numbers. It's a 27-24 kind of football game. And
It's a lot of
against teams
points.
who are, yeah, a lot of points. And these two teams are going to be really competitive. And it's smart since it's 51 and a half to just bet the under and just, take your lumps as they go. Don't bet too much if you don't got too much to bet. But I'm going to bet a unit on the under for this game for sure.
Mhm. Heard that. Oh man, dude, a game I'm also confused about. Indianapolis at Houston. Houston is favored -1. You got a battle against two rookie quarterbacks. Somebody's got to win this game.
Hmm.
Um,
The
fuck,
dreaded 1 point spread game.
that's stupid. I'm gonna take Indianapolis to win this game. I think. I don't know. After what I saw against the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna cruise here.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, feelings, concerns, Boogie?
So for Houston, Tunsil is questionable, the left tackle. And
Mm,
also something
it's
I
a big
find
problem.
interesting
Yeah.
that I don't think anybody's talking about is the fact that CJ Stroud was limited in practice on Friday with his throwing shoulder. His right shoulder had an injury. And he's a rookie quarterback and he has an injury to his right shoulder. And I don't think anybody I was reading is talking about that. That's going to
Mm.
impact his ability to throw. For Indianapolis, Quentin Nelson is questionable, but I think everybody else is on deck for them. Um, Definitely think
Yeah.
this is going to be a snooze fest all around.
Oh,
Um,
for sure.
yeah,
It's called the
but
rebuild game. The rebuild
yeah,
bowl.
that's
Where
right. And it's the first 4 weeks. Take the road dog with the QB with no injury designation.
yeah, 100%, man. That's just smart.
Yeah, so I think we're thinking the right way for this game. And again, it's a 1 point spread game. For some reason, I don't know like the math reasons behind it, but like
Mhm.
that's nasty to have to try to bet on those games. Like if you're not like us and betting on every game, you just don't bet this game. You don't mess with it.
No,
Um,
because one is it's basically like they have no idea who's gonna win. Vegas
yeah,
is basically saying I have no idea who's gonna win. Like they're not even giving Houston the home three. They're giving them
yeah.
fucking -1. So they are equally as confused, I think.
And I can't do the math in my head, but this game flipped from a Indianapolis -1 to a Houston -1. So we got a 2 point swing, but what would that mean? I mean that more people were betting on Houston to win. It's
Houston,
just
yeah.
like,
I mean that,
what were they
yeah.
just moving the line just for shits and giggles? Like,
I don't know,
you know,
dude. I think you hammer Indy on this. That's just the smart play here. Um,
yeah,
Another smart play moving into this 4 o'clock slot. Of course, you've got the San Francisco 49ers who are visiting the Los Angeles Rams, the Brain Bowl, as we like to call it. Of course, you have
hmm,
Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan scheming up against each other. San Francisco's favored -7. Brock Purdy looks fucking crazy coming off of reconstructive elbow surgery. Christian
hmm,
McCaffrey looks like a god. You're talking about a dude that literally had a pass reception and a rushing touchdown the last time these teams met. That's fucking insane. Give me San Francisco
yeah,
across the board. I think they're going to roll here. Um,
hmm,
of course, Matt Stafford looking healthy, throwing to these nobodies,
yeah.
and making them look incredible. Like we discussed, 119 yards out of both of them. That's crazy. I,
It is.
I just think I don't know. I don't know anything about Kyron Williams. But I do know about Nick Bosa. So I think that,
Hmm. Yeah.
San Francisco
So
is just the smart choice here. I don't really know that there's another way to go about this. Boogie, what are your thoughts, feelings, concerns?
um dome game, and there's a gamesmanship alert. I just want to get this out here. Both these head coaches are very very smart about how they use the injury report. Everybody's status for this game is completely unspecified at this point, so we can't really get a read off of that.
Oh,
But
great.
I think you're 100% correct in that San Francisco is too complete of a team for me to pick against, even
Hmm.
with such a high line. The Rams did look impressive last week, but we cannot forget that they are a formerly top heavy team that's losing its top. Like it's the top is being hollowed out. So whether due to age or people leaving, or them not being able to not being able to restock with good draft picks.
I mean,
So
those they mortgaged their entire franchise on winning one Super Bowl. I mean, they went to
that's
what,
right.
two or three
They went to, I think, two. They won one, and they lost the most boring Super Bowl
against the
ever
Patriots. Yeah, that
conceded.
shit was
Yeah,
what was it, 12-9 or something?
something like 12 punts between the between the two teams during the entire game. Nasty.
Yeah.
Just to finish up, San Francisco's offensive scheme is literally made to neutralize the Rams' greatest defensive strength, which is Aaron Donald and getting penetration through the middle.
Hmm.
And of course, San Francisco's scheme is predicated on short crossers and running left to right instead of north and south. So, Aaron Donald's gonna just he's kind of be doing cardio today, um,
Yeah, look for
against this San Francisco.
Brandon Ayuk had one hell of a game last year. It seems to be Purdy's favorite receiver, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kittle and Debo had a lot more options here, given that the Rams will be able to cover deep with Ayuk. I could see Debo having a hell of a game here. Just
And
kind of switching it up, you know.
nothing against the Rams receivers, but Tutu Atwell is like he's like 5'8", 150 pounds, and I don't know what I don't know what the other guy's deal is, but he's a guy who came out of nowhere. So, they two great performances last week. I don't think they necessarily replicate that this week. So I'm also
100%,
taking
man.
San Francisco, even with -7, -8 in some places. I'll
Hmm.
take it.
Yeah. A team I didn't think I would be taking, the Arizona Cardinals, who are going to be hosting the New York G Men. Big Blue coming off of just the fucking worst beatdown I've seen in a long time, 40 to
Hmm.
0. Arizona coming off a game against Commanders where they looked like they could have won if just a couple things went their way. I think Arizona, for whatever reason, I know they're not favored at all. And the Giants are favored by 4. That's ridiculous, especially given what I saw last week against the Dallas Cowboys. Boogie, I got to take Arizona here. That defense looks like they won it. And I think Daniel Jones is going to be running for his life this week. Um, yeah, I'm going to take Arizona, man. I
Wow.
know I know it sounds weird and I shouldn't be, but this is one of those, like, I don't trust the Giants at all, especially what I saw. And now and that was at home. And now they got
Hmm.
to go on the road where Arizona played out of their mind defensively, which
Hmm.
seems to be a real problem for the Giants. Definitely give me Arizona here. What are your
Okay.
thoughts, feelings, concerns?
Um, So as far as injuries go, the tackle for the Giants, Andrew Thomas is questionable for this game. Arizona, both Buda Baker and Kelvin Beachum are questionable. LJ Collier is out. Um, we have to keep in mind the fact that Dallas got 7 sacks against the Giants last week. Arizona got 6 sacks against their opponent last week. So if the Giants are still suffering with their offensive line problems, it's going to be scary for this week. Um, if they can do that, I mean, the Arizona defense has a fire in its gut.
The dude,
It
what do,
it's
do,
taking the
do you?
fucking yeah, it's taking the bus. It's taking the bus. It's taking the scooter. It's taking the train. It's taking the car. It's taking the airplane, a helicopter, whatever it needs, um, to get after these quarterbacks. But it's so hard for me to take seriously a team that is putting Joshua Dobbs at quarterback.
Hmm.
Um,
I agree with that.
the the New York Giants defense is better than it showed last week. And I cannot. This is so tough.
Dude, this is like that KC Jacksonville game, bro.
It
What do
is.
you do?
Um, and -4 is such a like a weird line to
It
have to mess
is.
with.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the
Um,
dog because it was 17-16 Commanders Arizona, right?
yeah, 2016, I think. 2016 Commanders
Okay,
Cardinals.
so you're
Yeah. Ah, and I'm like, sure, they got a lot of sacks, but I mean, is Saquon going to be more of a factor in this game? Because if so, I don't think Arizona after J.J. Watt left last year, I don't think they have like a dog in that defensive line.
I mean, except for fucking what's his face? Didn't they take Tyree Wilson?
They did. Hmm. This is a really tough choice. I'm gonna go with Vegas here and go for the Giants, but I don't like it. I'm taking my fucking medicine if Arizona comes out here and
Yeah, it looks like
surprises me.
looks like we're both gonna be taking medicine this week, man. A game that seems
Yeah.
pretty like wrapped up in the books, already set in stone. It's gonna be the Dallas Cowboys who are hosting the New York Jets. Dallas is
Hmm.
gonna continue its dominance over the state of New York, even though they were definitely the New Jersey Jets, but that's neither here nor there. And they are going to dominate here, rolling. I mean, 8.5. That's a lot against a premier defense, especially
That's also
that secondary that just gave um, Buffalo so much trouble.
It's also a lot when your game total is 38. That's a lot. Um,
The totals, well, they're expecting Zach Wilson to not do anything.
yeah, they're
So
expecting another shutout, but ah, I mean, on the Jets side, Mekhi Becton and Dwayne Brown, and
uh,
Brees Hall and Greg Zuerlein are all questionable.
oh,
Um,
Brees Hall's playing. Zerline will probably play. Becton, that's tough. I don't
mhm.
know. He's a bigger dude, and his was ankle or lower leg related, I believe.
This guy is he's such a people mover. It sucks that he cannot get onto the field for lower body injuries.
Mhm.
Really sucks
Give
for
me,
Dallas. For
yeah, go ahead.
Dallas, Tyler Smith is doubtful, which is one of their tackles.
Who cares? Give me Dallas by 9.
Again, total is 38, man. That's like to me,
That's
uh,
insane.
yeah. To me, like this is obviously a tough matchup for Zach Wilson, but this is also tough matchup for Dak Prescott, who led the league last year at interceptions, going against a Jets defense who is going to be the difference maker in keeping this a close game. Um, I'm picking Dallas to win as well because I really don't think Wilson does anything,
Give me the Jets to
but
cover.
Jets cover.
Fuck.
Jets go.
Jets.
JT. Jets.
Jets. Jets. Jets. Jets. Like, fuck, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
I mean, Zach Wilson says he's trying to emulate Aaron Rodgers more this year, so maybe he stops throwing interceptions at
Yeah.
every opportunity.
This
You
just
never
in,
know.
breaking news, AJ Green retires as a Cincinnati Bengal.
Oh, that's why he was in the building today. They showed a video of him like
Yeah.
in here. So that's nice. That's nice. We love that. And he's going to be king of the jungle tomorrow. Like we can really
So what did we
um
sign him for, like a day? Is that a
probably
thing?
probably the day contract. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really
It's real
cool.
nice.
I like that. Um, Thanks,
Me
AJ.
too.
All right.
Appreciate you, Adriel.
Another game that's just confuses the shit out of me. I don't know what we're gonna see here. Denver coming off an embarrassing loss to the Las Vegas Raiders, who are in division, of course. Washington, who looks like they're still trying to figure shit out as well.
Hmm.
Headed to Denver. Denver's favored by -3.5. Is that a lot?
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Give me. This is so stupid, dude. I'm gonna take Denver to win because I like their head
Hmm.
coach better. Riverboat Ron has not been riverboating as much.
Yeah.
Um, Give me Washington to cover though. No way. No way does
Okay.
Denver win by more than three. Like they could barely win by more than one, and they could barely muster more than three scores of offense. Um,
Hmm.
so
For Denver,
oh,
um, Frank Clark
oh.
is out. Jerry Judy's unspecified. For Washington, McLaurin and Chase Young were both full participants on Friday, but everybody's on the injury report for Washington is an unspecified status.
Mm-hmm.
Neither QB looks like they're really functional at this point in their career.
Or
Sam Howell's too
comfortable.
young.
Yeah, Sam
Russell
Howell at
Wilson's
least
too
knows
old.
his offense. Russell Wilson just looks uncomfortable. Like I think by
Yeah,
week 4 he gets replaced with Jared Stidham, and they start like hitting it hard, dude. I mean, Stidham put up 400 yards of offense on the fucking Chiefs, man. Playing
that's
for the Raiders. That's crazy.
that's crazy. That must have been everybody must have been asleep that game. Everybody, instead of taking smelling salts, they took like Ambien or something. Like they were
Like, hey, let me
they're
get
on
that.
that walking coma that Ambien gives you. Yeah. Oh my
I
god.
don't know, dude. I mean, it was a great game, and he finished out the season, which is exactly why Sean Payton brought him into Denver, because
Uh
he's given serious. I mean, look, dude, I'd rather have someone who's got some fire in their gut. Do,
huh.
do they? Than fucking Russell Wilson, who just like continues to look uncomfortable and confused out there. Um,
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, what are your thoughts, Boogie?
Really, just for parity's sake, at this point, I'm going to take Washington. If Chase Young is coming back, Washington's got some fucking dogs on that D line. If
Yeah,
they can get
hell yeah.
penetration on Russell, make
Hell
him
yeah.
uncomfortable,
Hell yeah.
hell yeah, brother. And I mean, the total for this game is 39. I don't feel comfortable having Denver win by a touchdown if the total is 39. So I'm going to pick Washington, and just for parity, and just because I think you're being a total homer, you Coloradan picking Denver, I'm going to pick Washington, even though
Okay.
Washington's fucking dog shit. Ah
Yeah,
man,
they're both bad. So it's really,
I don't know
you
who's
know,
going to rescue all those poor gentlemen on the defensive line. They should be like the purple people eaters, but they're just stuck on a team that's in the mud, man. In the
100%.
FedEx Field mud.
100%, dude. We'll see, bro. Good old Mile High. If all else fails, you can have some Colorado inspiration afterwards and just kind of forget about it.
There you go.
That's what it's all about. Legal now in the league. Thank God. All
Thank
right.
God.
Sunday night football, man. The big matchup. We got an AFC East
Hmm.
rivalry coming to fruition. Miami headed into New England. Miami favored by -2.5. The buzzsaw Miami Dolphins, who no one could guard Tyreek Hill at all. Give me Miami. I think
Hmm.
across the board, New England, like, did they play better defense against, um, pardon me, against the Eagles in the second half? Yeah, sure, but
Hmm.
I think Miami's going to get up to a lead early, much like the Eagles did, being 16-0 in that second quarter. I think Miami goes up like 21, 28-0.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to fucking roll, bro. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
it's Belichick, but it's Mac Jones, dude. Like, what are we even talking about?
Yeah.
Like, he's not great by any means. So,
Yeah. Strength against strength. I think McDaniel and Tagovailoa are going to be able to out scheme and outperform the Patriots. And on the other side of the ball, I mean, you're going against Vic Fangio, who's one of the best schemers on the defensive side of the football in the league. And Mac's arm has got to feel like a noodle after last week. And he's got Bill O'Brien in his ear. I don't necessarily have a ton of faith in Bill O'Brien as an offensive play caller, and compared against Vic Fangio, who's he was kind of bad as the Broncos head coach, but stripped
mm-hmm.
of head coach duties and just being able to do his specialty. I think he can out scheme Bob, and on the basis of that, -2.5 is a great line to pick Miami here because if they win by 3, you win your bet. I'm taking Miami as well
Heard. Heard.
because if Tyreek is a fucking alien, and if he's doing offensive player of the year things again, if he has a performance like JJ had this past
He had a
Thursday,
better performance than JJ. He had like 32 points in fantasy. He had like
yeah,
100 and something yards. Like, this guy looks fucking insane. The thing is like when you watched that Chargers game, they just couldn't
hmm
cover him. Like, Tua was just throwing nowhere, and Tyreek would hit a fucking 40-yard dash in like 2 seconds, is what it felt like, and just be there to catch the ball. Like, you can't cover that. You know what
no,
I'm saying? Like, uh,
can't
I
teach that shit either.
exactly. And if Bill wants to scheme up a lot of like, rush three, drop eight against Tyreek and have them like very well covered, then I expect, or even if they decide to go with a dime defense, which they're not known for, to help cover Tyreek and pass him off around the secondary, I think that
hmm
we're gonna see Jalen Waddle go off because you can't really stop him. Um,
Yeah, that's the thing is that Bill's like top DB did not participate in Friday's practice, and he's questionable. So they're gonna have a at least a third level or third string DB out there for Bill, and it's just yeah, if Tyreek doesn't do it, Waddle doesn't do it, like you said. So um, I think they're gonna find that guy and push him and see if he's got anything to offer, and if he doesn't, whoever's on him's gonna feast all day long.
yeah, 100%, bro. Oh boy, man, no care. That's what I have for this first Monday night game. New Orleans at Carolina.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
is that a good one? I mean,
Holy shit. That's
I
yeah.
no care.
Truly could not give a fuck about this game.
I don't give a shit about this. This is going to be so boring. Why is all NFC games just boring, with the exception of San Francisco and the Eagles playing? It seems like the NFC is just boring as fuck to watch. Maybe Detroit becomes a thing, but generally the NFC is boring as fuck. Dallas, I guess. So
Yeah.
you've got four teams where it's like the AFC every game's cool, right? Where you're like, oh shit, oh, Kansas City, wow, Baltimore,
Yeah.
Cincinnati, whoa, Buffalo, Vegas, whoa, like
Talent spread out a little bit. The talent is so concentrated in the AFC right now. It's such a revert. Like I feel like 10 years ago the NFC
the
was where it was
NFC was
at.
dominant. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Now the AFC is so loaded, it's retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah, no care. No care, don't care. No, is how this should read. Carolina
Yeah.
at home, but I mean, come on, dude. Like, second week, are they going to figure it out? No, they're not going to figure it out because it's a rookie quarterback. So, and New
Yeah.
Orleans defense is going to feast on Bryce Young. He's going to get hit a lot again. Give me New Orleans across the board here.
Okay.
What are you thinking, Boog?
So for Carolina, JC Horn did not participate in practice on Friday, but otherwise they got kind of no other names that I've heard of are, not participating. So New Orleans has won 4 of their last 5 games by a point, so it's statistically unlikely that they're going to cover the spread if that trend continues.
Mm.
This New Orleans defense, it intercepted Tannehill 3 times, so it's very likely to feast on a rookie quarterback. But the run defense is not as mighty as it's been in years past. Cam Jordan is not as dominant on that
Mhm.
side of the ball as he has recently. Sanders having a banner day is key for making this game close. Um, just for the sake of it, just because I don't believe in Derek Carr, I'm going to pick Carr to win and cover, just to see, maybe Bryce Young has got that dog in him, and maybe he can bring out a win for this rebuilding Carolina Panthers team.
Yeah, no doubt. Probably the more entertaining of the two Monday Night Football games. Of course, we've got Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Cleveland is favored -2.5. I'm going to take Cleveland. They look incredible right now,
hmm
especially after what they did to our Cincinnati Bengals. I think
hmm
Jim Schwartz defense is nasty. I think Pittsburgh is still figuring it out, and they don't really have
Hmm.
any answers on offense. Kenny Pickett is gonna look stupid, like
Somebody's going to
facing.
pick it off of him
Yeah.
several times a game.
Oh,
Oh,
pun. Nice puns. Yeah. So I think. I mean, shit, dude. Like, yeah,
for Pittsburgh,
Cleveland.
Deontay
It's.
Johnson and Larry Ogunjobi didn't participate in class didn't participate in practice on
I didn't show
Friday,
up to
and
class, so they're getting written up.
that's right.
Bro,
They're getting a demerit.
we're calling their parents.
That's right. Cam Hayward's out. Cleveland has a clean bill of health. They got the advantage on both sides. Myles Garrett got 6 pressures and 2 sacks against a better O line than the Pittsburgh Steelers got. Um, Cleveland's defensive line is among the most fearsome in pass rush in the NFL right now. Um, and Jim Schwartz likes to attack with his defensive line. Kenny Pickett has shown that he either cannot make decisions quickly or he makes the wrong decision quickly. Um, so
So far,
he will so far. I mean,
yeah,
he can certainly grow over the year, but this was a really tough schedule to open up for a second year quarterback, especially one who only started half the season last year. I mean, he's still kind of in his first season, even with the off season development time.
yeah.
Um, I just don't think that this is going to be a great offensive day for the Steelers.
Mm-mm.
Um, and with no Cam Hayward clogging up the middle, I think Nick Chubb is going to be able to have a very easy running week. He looks
Another
really
100,
rested.
100+ yards, easy.
He looks really aggressive. He looks like he's like trying to kick his feet through to the core of the earth every time he's running. I think that's going to make pass concepts easier for Watson. He's not going to be asked to shoulder the burden very much this week. So I think this is going to be, and the line is -2.5. This is an easy pick for the Cleveland Browns. They just got the advantage on in all phases, and they only have to win by 3. So
Mm-hmm.
easy pick.
100%, bro. I agree
Yes, sir.
100%. Wow. Okay, so now we're moving down into our props. Of course, we got no buys. Tyler is 1-0. I am 0-1. What crazy situation do I think will happen this week? Um, Shit, man. I think there is collective over 10 interceptions this week, league wide.
Over 10 ints league wide. It's a it's a high burden to carry in a league that is
Okay.
taking care of the ball more better than it ever has.
Yeah, well, we've already seen like 3 in the Thursday night game, so maybe that's a little.
Oh, I will let you handicap it any way you wish because I just don't know what the league averages are week per week on interceptions.
Whatever. Yeah, 10. It feels like a lot. So let's just do 10.
Okay, let's do 10. Um, I think just starting right off the bat, our first game that we talked about today, Green Bay versus Atlanta. I think Atlanta running backs are going to get 200 yards rushing, and that's going to be probably the. I think that's going to be just the bulk of their offense. I mean, wouldn't surprise me if the splits were like 200 yards rushing, 70 passing. But that's
Hmm.
all they're going to need to get the job done. So
I think so. I mean, that's a nice, easy, it's a good one, bro. I like that.
yeah,
200 plus. I think so. I think so.
I'll take it.
Hell yeah.
And if you're looking for props this week, Jameer Gibbs over 3.5 receptions. Again, take the under on that KC Jacksonville game. Unders are, everybody wants to bet an over, but bet the under there. Um, and yeah, good work.
Yeah, good work, Buggy. I mean, is there anything else before we head out of here?
What's the perfect temperature for a football game? If you're going to go to a football game, what's the perfect temperature to go to one?
Between 53 and 58 degrees Fahrenheit. I think
Mm,
that it's cold enough to be able to wear like a hoodie and feel comfortable.
yeah,
Um, as well as cold enough to be, have hoodie under, jersey over. But of course, as soon as you get on your beer jacket, you're not like sweating it out, right? It's
That's
like,
right.
oh, I'm in a perfect temp. What about you, Boogie? What is your perfect temperature for a football game?
You know what? I agree completely. I like a cold weather game, but I don't like my fingers freezing. So somewhere in the like high 40s, low 50s is perfect for me. And you know what's a weird coincidence?
What's that?
That 53 degrees to 58 degrees is the perfect temperature to run a marathon, according to
Really?
marathon experts. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, that's weird that you know that, but thank you as always, Brain Trust.
Hey,
I appreciate you.
I'll thank John Boys and Secret Base for their Dorktown series. Watch the one about the 1904 St. Louis Olympics and the absolute dog shit show that was the marathon for those Olympics that year. It's a great watch. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Okay, well, thanks, Boogie. I really appreciate that, man. Hey,
Yeah.
as always, from one homie to another, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day, and thank you so much for joining us yet again on week 2. We'll be back Wednesday with another episode. Go ahead and wrapping up this week's games and talking about our pick for that Thursday night matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants. But until then, we'll catch you, homies. Peace.